Good evening, everyone. It's Stan Morris reporting. And we're live in Jonesboro at the scene of a shooting here. It's breaking news, and if you give me just a minute, I'll get situated, and we'll be able to show you guys a little bit more here. We're live at the scene in Jonesboro of 1000 Vine Street, and it's this general area where police officers are going through right now, trying to find out what happened. But I'm going to tell you what I know at the moment, which is not very much, but as everybody here is getting joined live with us, we'll let you know, and we actually should have a media liaison here at the scene, so I'm going to be looking for them as well. Just about 10 o'clock, there was a shooting that was reported on Vine in Jonesboro. It's about 1000 block or so, and what's going on right now is police are here at the scene. You got the intersection taped off. It's Vine and Oak, where the intersection is taped off at the moment. Officers are still speaking to people here at the scene, trying to find out more. I talked to a couple of witnesses, and the witnesses told me that a silver car sped through, and that's where the shooting began. They told me that apparently they said, and this was from one of the witnesses, quote, they shot one of their own. So I don't know what that means, but it could mean some kind of drug deal gone bad. It's tough to really say. One of the most stark visuals here at the scene when you're coming out here, and I'm just going to show you this and pan the camera around. You see that over there? Those are little kids seated in the driveway of an apartment complex, a rather new apartment complex. Children here watching authorities do their thing and investigate, try to find out more information about a shooting that apparently has injured someone. Now, I'm told Sally Smith with the Jonesboro Police Department is on her way out here to the scene, and she may be here, as a matter of fact. I of course, with all the lights flashing, I can't even see anybody's face. All I can see is silhouettes. But I don't think Sally's here just yet. If Sally does come out here, we'll try to get an interview and try to find out more information. Also want to let everybody know I'm using a new technology device, a new piece of hardware, so if this thing goes crazy all of a sudden, that's why. It's a gimbal, and it's supposed to stabilize my camera shots, but it's a little bit weird. I'm sorry for having to mention that. It's just the likelihood of technical difficulties exists. So it's Vine and Oak Street in Jonesboro is the intersection. It's taped off right now with the crime scene tape. I'm not sure how far back that goes. Let's step over here on the other side of the road and see. It looks like you can see the, well, you might be able to see. I know you can see my finger. Right around there is going to be a traffic marker indicator that's stopped. It looks like the crime scene tape goes down just a little bit further past the intersection there to the east, but it's not very much more. It's mainly just this intersection. Now, this is off of Nettleton Avenue. I'm going to show you guys where we would be coming from. In this direction, you would head straight down there. You're going to reach Nettleton, okay? This is a smaller apartment complex that's right here, and I'm thinking the possibility may exist that this is the location where things took place, but it was right around here. Told about 10 o'clock, a silver car came through and gunfire erupted. I'm going to come back over here and see if I might be able to talk to some people that have heard a little bit more. Did you by chance hear this thing happen? You were in the middle of it? Did you see the suspect? What now? Well, he's going to talk to the officers. He says he was right in the middle of it. Of course, we want to give him the opportunity to go speak with them, before we start peppering him with questions. So a lot going on here, and officers still trying to figure it out. There were some more witnesses over here, and I want to come back just for a second and see if I can speak to them and maybe find out a little bit more. Of course, they may all be gone by now, so bear with me, everybody. This is breaking news. It's Stan Morris reporting with you live on a Wednesday night, about 10:30 or so right now, a little bit past that. Yeah, everybody's already left where I was looking for. Very busy news week this week in Jonesboro. If you take a look at things that have been going on, summer is supposed to be a lull period where stuff sometimes cools off. It's anything but that this past week, and that's just for all of Northeast Arkansas. But now we're here at the scene of the, most latest and the most urgent happening, which is a shooting that we believe may have hospitalized one person, according to a witness. And hopefully, the extent of the injuries are not as severe as it perhaps might seem at this point. But one person at least injured is what we're hearing from a witness. Another person said he was right in the middle of it all. If you hear a dog, that's not a police canine. Somebody brought their dog outside for some reason. But you've got, you know, an entire neighborhood really where folks are, you can see kind of over there, they're standing out on the stairwell trying to figure out what exactly going on in their home. And we just heard more gunshots get fired. Breaking news, right now we just heard gunshots being fired here at the scene. You can see an officer has his hand on his duty weapon and just pulled it. This is the very first time we've been at a crime scene where this has taken place live, so folks, stay with us. This is, yeah, I'll wait. They don't want me to follow them down there, understandably so. Right now, we just heard gunshots get fired, not very far from here. Several officers are now headed down in that direction, headed west. We just heard, I think, 1 or 2 gunshots that sound like being fired. You know, and you've got down the road. I'm a live reporter, so I've got to stay here, but I understand. So, I don't know. Understood. Sally, is that you? Okay, I can't see because of the lights. So Sally Smith's here on the scene with us, and she's gonna, I'm giving you space. I know you're doing your thing trying to figure out stuff, so I'm not gonna put the camera in front of you. We just heard gunshots, though, here at the scene, Vine and Oak in Jonesboro, so this is potentially still a very active situation that's happening. We heard officers headed down that direction, west, down Oak. They are still moving down in that vicinity, trying to figure out if that was gunfire, what that noise was. We heard a couple of pops and immediately saw an officer pull his service weapon out. So, active scene right now. Do you have the time? I don't... Right now, just...
Right now it's 10:53.
Okay, thanks. It's 10:53. Sally just told me here in Jonesboro, where we're at, Vine and Oak in Jonesboro, scene where a shooting took place at about 10 o'clock, short time maybe after. And here just a moment ago, we heard a couple of gunshots being fired. Sounded like, at least. So right now, we're waiting and seeing exactly what's going on. Officers are trying to make sure that this scene is secure, while they're also trying to figure out what happened here at this scene. So, you can see some of the lights down in the vicinity. I'm aiming the camera at the moment in the direction of where we heard the gunshots. And so you can see kind of some of the lights down there in the vicinity where officers were walking around looking and hopefully finding out. Maybe it was a car that backfired, right? But still, when you hear that noise, you can see several officers pull their weapons out because it's a, you know, it's a crime scene right now. And so authorities are trying to figure out more news, more details, more facts. I want to ask everybody kind of to stay with us here as we're live on the scene, just because we don't know what's going on right now, except that there's been a shooting, and we may have just seen or heard another one take place not very far away. Let me show you around where we're at. This is the live look. This is the intersection, both sides of it, of Vine and Oak Street. It's Jonesboro. Stan Morris reporting here with you live on the scene where we were told by witnesses one person was hospitalized. I did not see an ambulance unit out here when I was here, but witnesses said that, and the quote was to me, that they shot one of their own. We haven't verified that with authorities just yet. That's kind of what we're waiting on. As Tabitha's here in chat, one of our top fans, appreciate you and all of the people that comment on our news, helps it to get in front of more people. She mentioned there that was not a car, sounded nothing like it. I agree. I heard it. It sounded clearly like a gunshot. Got somebody headed up the road here. That's another Jonesboro officer. You know, there's a post by Michael that says there's gang activity in Jonesboro. There definitely has been for some time. You know, Jonesboro, even though we're talking about 70,000 or so people, represents a lot more than that just from the surrounding municipalities, right? With West Memphis, with Pocahontas, with Paragould, with Truman, all these communities that still count on Jonesboro for a great deal of their shopping activity and for their life. So Jonesboro's witnessing a lot of growth, and their police resources are being stretched in. That's kind of one of the main points that the police chief has echoed to me about how the police department needs more funding. So, you know, when you're out here at a crime scene like this, I guess it's the hands-on evidence of at least a need, but I'll leave it to the viewers to decide, you know, how to meet that need. But nonetheless, this is Jonesboro Live here. Breaking news. Short time ago, a shooting took place, and we don't know officially much about that. We know unofficially some details that we've been told by folks. You can see kind of behind me, there's a lot of people out here right now that are hanging out in an apartment complex on the left of me. There's a few smaller apartments on the right, and police lights lighting up everybody's windows tonight during a situation that's very tense, you know, and not a situation that people are able to go to sleep in. I mean, you got little kids out here right now. Saw, you know, 6, 7-year-olds playing with their dog a few feet away from where we're at right now. And yeah, not something that it's just not a situation that you should have children in, obviously. I think we can all kind of agree with that. Somebody mentioning they're glad their yard's mowed. Hey buddy, I'm glad too. I posted a photo the other day. Somebody got all over me just because I found some dogs in my yard and the grass was a little rough, right? They're standing here at the intersection right now. We're not really moving around a whole lot because officers just moved in that direction. They just headed west trying to hear and find out where those gunshots just came from, because we just heard them too. This is the second round of gunfire, I guess, in this particular area. We were told it was a silver car. We don't have the exact make and model of that or suspect details yet. One person walked by and said he was right in the middle of it all. I don't know what that means, like if he was a target, if he was just there when it all happened. I'm sure it feels like you're a target whenever you're in the middle of a shooting, whether you were hit or meant to be hit or not. That's a lovely sound for anybody that just made that one out behind me. So I don't have a watch on me, but we're approaching the 11 o'clock hour. My watch is my phone, right? I've told y'all that before. We're on Oak Street and Vine. And from here going west, I'm not sure the exact road because I got that message asking me. But I'm going to ask here in a moment when we get the opportunity. Sally's with me. Appreciate you, Sally. Police here at the scene of Vine and Oak in reference to shots fired. Witnesses stated that a fight broke out between several individuals, someone firing a gun multiple times. A gray car, just like we mentioned to you a moment ago there in the color scheme of things, seen leaving the area. A gunshot victim arrived at a local hospital. It's unknown right now for certain if these events are related, obviously, because authorities are at the scene trying to figure it all out. Is that pretty much all you'll be able to say right now?
Right at this moment.
Okay. Sally Smith is here. We'll say hi to Sally. Oh, wasn't that lovely? And of course, we know you're not really able to tell us a whole lot right now, but you can see her working at the scene. Just got that information from her and appreciate you. Not going to put you on the spot anymore. You're welcome. But here at the scene of a shooting in Jonesboro, a late night one at that. It's Vine Street and Oak. You can see the crime scene tape right here. This is where the scene is taped off, and this is the intersection itself. An apartment complex would be about 180 degrees from where the camera's pointed. As you can see right up in this direction, a lot of folks still out here, still wondering what's going on. Police confirming that there's one gunshot victim. It's 11 o'clock in Jonesboro. Appreciate it, Michael. Police confirming one gunshot victim. They don't have for certainty the knowledge that that was related. Forgive me, promise I'm going to the allergy shop next. They don't have it for certain that this shooting was related.
Yeah. Could you not put none of that on us?
Yeah, I won't aim it at you guys if that's what you're asking. So the yeah, that was somebody that's I guess he was here at the scene asking if we could hopefully not show him, and I mean you can't see him anyway, so that's fine. Yeah, this about 11 o'clock right now is where we're at. Let me just reset here. A shooting a short time ago, and one person sent to the hospital. It's not known if that's specifically because of this, but it's quite possible, and possibly even likely, I guess, that you would be seeing that one person ended up here hospitalized. We were told a silver car. Police say is a gray car is what they're kind of working, so silver or gray. It does appear, as Montana asked if anyone was hurt, it does appear one person hospitalized with a gunshot, but I don't have their exact status or if it was very severe. It's just that it was learned by police later that a gunshot victim had checked into a nearby hospital, right? So you can even see the officer right there picking up kind of his pen and pad, because they're still trying to piece this together. Got to give police credit, just giving us information as they're out here on the scene. That's obviously very appreciated. Transparency is very appreciated. But at the moment, authorities trying to figure out what and why happened here. Vine and Oak Street in Jonesboro, about the 1000 block of Vine is where this is at if you're searching on a map. Talking about kind of near the YMCA, near Annie Camp Junior High, West Nettleton area, and shots ringing out where one person was sent to the hospital from here, we're told, by one of the people that's here behind us. I want to go back here and just ask them if I can ask them a little bit more. Hey y'all, who was here whenever it happened?
Nobody.
Okay, you're one person, so you don't speak for everybody. What about you?
I was sleeping.
Yeah, someone's coming.
A lot of people don't want to talk. I get it. So, did y'all see anything that you want to say? Anything like that?
Hey, Danielle.
Gotcha. Not a lot of intellectual prowess going on behind me at the moment. But yeah, people here at the scene, they said a short time ago, about 10 o'clock, it was when the gunshots rang out. I guess it's about an hour ago now. Here at the scene a moment ago, we heard several shots as well, but it didn't seem to at least be located exactly where that happened. Authorities have headed down in the direction a little bit to the east, and so let's see, Luann Hester, 800 block, nowhere close to Annie Camp or the YMCA. The general area, Luann, I'm trying to show people where the general area is. Strap your pants on. You don't have to get that upset and triggered about everything, darling. This is the general area of town on the side of where you would find the YMCA and Annie Camp Junior High School. And so, again, trying to give people an idea of where this is at, because a lot of times when we report crime, it's on a certain side of town. Maybe the north side. Last shooting we heard of was Monday, and that was in trying to give you an idea, that was off of Red Wolf, off of Stadium. So you're talking about, again, another section of town. This is a totally different area. It's not just one area of town. That's kind of the point of showing everybody, telling everybody where this stuff is taking place. It is a residential neighborhood. It's not a very wealthy residential neighborhood. There's apartments and stuff here, but nonetheless, yeah, you're talking about, violence happening in very different sections of town, all over. So, Vine and Oak in Jonesboro, there's not a lot of details right now. Probably won't be very many more. We are, don't know how much longer I'm going to stay here live at the scene. I'm staying longer just simply because we did hear a couple of gunshots firing out earlier. That's the kind of stuff that we're more worried about than somebody telling us exact addresses and locations. We're here at the scene where gunfire rang out a moment ago after a shooting had already taken place, and that's right in the middle there, right in the middle of the live stream. Just appreciate everybody joining, looking at some of the comments there. Yes, I'm getting eaten up by mosquitoes, just to let you know. It's a humid night out here. It could be a whole lot hotter. Some of the officers are over there looking.
They driving by down that road and this road right here.
Listen. Are you guys listening? You got witnesses here saying the car that's responsible for this is driving by. Okay, so let's see. Oh, look at that. Skylar McLeod says he's always rude. Those people don't have to tell him anything. He just got in his feelings about somebody not wanting to tell his nosy something. Gosh, you gotta love it that you got a loser that's watching my live stream that's bashing me. Hi, Skylar. Get a life. So as we're sitting here getting bashed by Skylar, who's sitting in her couch doing nothing, we're here listening to some people behind us. And they told us, we actually could hear them say that a car was driving by that at least to them seemed like the suspect vehicle. And they were alarmed enough to go tell police about it right in the middle of us speaking. So yeah, you're talking about an active scene at the moment. That's kind of one of the reasons why that I'm not left, because the stuff is still happening right here live. I can see a shell casing that the officer just put a cone down in front of. And so you can see the officers right now where they're locating where some of the shots were fired. Gives us at least a little bit of information. So doesn't necessarily mean that that's, you know, definitive stuff, but I could see a shell casing with some of the light gleaming off of it. You could also see officers placing the evidence markers down by that. We're standing here kind of in the edge of the sidewalk, trying to keep everybody out of view that's behind us. But you could definitely hear some of the folks that were saying, you know, sounded like to them, or it looked like to them, that a car that kept driving by that was responsible for this. Would have been a drive-by shooting, according to the details we know. To answer one of the questions there from Melissa, appreciate you for joining us. And you know, a situation right now where little is known, except there's one victim we believe associated with this, and then a short time ago we heard gunshots being fired not far from here. So that's kind of the recap. This all happened around 10 o'clock, and it was about 10, sorry, I was just listening to one of the police radios. It's about 10 o'clock when the shots rang out. It was about 11 or so whenever just a moment ago we checked in, probably a couple of minutes before 11 whenever we heard the second round of gunfire, maybe about 10:45. I'm sorry, I don't have a watch out here. Maybe I should, and if I could, I would keep y'all up to date on that. Appreciate you, Rebecca, for joining us. I like KEIT, by the way. Have no issues with them. A lot of good friends out there. That's kind of where I began my news career. So we appreciate them. We just offer what we offer, and others offer what they offer. So we have no idea, for the clarity of it, if it exactly was that, you know, suspect vehicle. I just want to show you as we look down the road, you see an officer kind of down that direction, searching in that vicinity. And then that direction, not so much, it doesn't look like. But then over on this side, officers were also searching too. Yes, we're in Arkansas. For those who are unaware, Jonesboro, Arkansas. It was a shooting here tonight at the scene. And then apparently a second shooting while we were just here live reporting to you all with what's going on. It's Vine and Oak in Jonesboro. About the 1000 block of Vine is where we're at. And the general vicinity, the general area, is the side of town where you would have the YMCA, Annie Camp, and whatnot. This is just off of West Nettleton. So, yes, very active scene at the moment, very active situation. If you have tips or information, Jonesboro Police Department's number is 870-935-6710 if you want to contact the Criminal Investigation Division. But the situation like this may be more apt to call 911 depending on what you know and what you're hearing. As 400 of you are joining us live here at about 11 o'clock. I see Teresa said, is St. Bernard's on lockdown? I heard they were on their Facebook page. I can't verify that at the moment, but what I can tell you is that whenever they have a shooting victim come in, it's usually pretty quick that they go on lockdown. And so what happens is they're going to have higher security measures, and they're also probably going to have family members freaking out in there. You know, hate to say it, but a lot of times this stuff happens. People's family acts as bad as they possibly can, and no self-control, right? And so situation like that, they have to put it on lockdown, not just for safety, but they also have to think about their nurses, their doctors, you know, people that are dealing with folks in hysterics. It's most important, like the most important thing you could do is remain calm in every situation. But yeah, our thoughts with everybody up at St. Bernard's, because we got some friends there and we also know that they're going to be out there, you know, right in the middle of this stuff, trying to help everybody hopefully remain, you know, hopefully they can remain safe. This chick's still talking. I don't know what the heck she's talking about. She's in there mouthing and all this stuff, just nothing to do in life. So appreciate everybody for joining us tonight, and of course we're live at the scene, trying to bring you the latest information. We do have a shooting in Jonesboro. We don't have names of anybody involved. No suspect in custody at the moment. A gray or silver car was thought to be a suspect vehicle, but a moment ago somebody had even mentioned that a black vehicle kept coming by. So, you know, you're talking about probably a gray or silver car, and it looks like that would be the suspect vehicle. Around 10 o'clock drove by, gunshots fired. It's a little past 11 now. Jesse asked, do you have an update on that car? No, so the car wasn't even here by the time that they mentioned it to the officers. It had already allegedly driven by, if that's, you know, exactly what happened. So they did not go after that actively, at least those officers they told, but I did see them radio some officers that may have began patrols and began looking for that other vehicle. So I'm certain that they're aware of it, and I'm certain that they're keeping their eyes open and stuff. You can see some, I think I just saw a black car turn down that direction, as a matter of fact. I gotta tell you though, somebody just asked if I had a bulletproof vest, which for the sake of fun, I won't answer. But how about this? When you're at a scene like this, where you've got 10, 15 Jonesboro patrol cars and Jonesboro's finest, there's not a lot of places that are safer to be. These are marksmen I couldn't even begin to touch. They go out and train and shoot matchsticks off of, you know. Anyway, nonetheless, if you go to their videos on Jonesboro Police Department, you can see very well trained. I feel fine. See evidence marker there I just noticed. Don't know if you guys can see my finger, but right around there it looks like an evidence marker, maybe indicating that the gunfire began in this direction and continued in to the right there. A lot of speculation, tough to say. We're going to give Jonesboro Police their space to continue working on this. Appreciate everybody for joining us live tonight. Almost everybody. One person I don't really appreciate joining us, but that's okay. You seem to give her trouble in chat. That makes it more fun, right? It's Stan Morris reporting. Remember the most important thing, if you have any information that could help police out, I need you to contact them. 935-6710, call 911, whatever. Just let them know, talk to authorities. You don't have to talk to the press, but at least speak up and let them know what's going on, so hopefully this cycle of violence can stop. Appreciate everybody for joining us. It's Stan Morris reporting on NEA Report. Become a supporter, and hopefully we'll be able to keep you even more informed, let you know what's going on. Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe.
Is that right there?